everybody, we're back and we are ready to do it like it's your B-Day. Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
Doing well.
Doing well. You know, it's great to have you here with us tonight, joining us as our guest co-host. And should we have 5 men? Because I don't know if we'll ever have 5 men again. Is the one and the only Solomon Stretch. Solomon, welcome to the 5 Guys on Live.
Thank you.
We are happy to have you. Solomon it's 3 things, Solomon, that I saw that you do. First and foremost, you are a therapist and a yogi. So tell us, what's the difference between a yogi and a yoga? Because Janelle Monáe had that song about yoga, and it was real stretching.
So yoga is a practice. Yogi is the practitioner.
So yoga is a practice, a yogi is a practitioner. And then the final thing is you are now a future podcast founder. So we are happy to have you here with us. We want you to talk about anything that you want to talk about and share regarding that venture. And if now isn't the time, definitely we will, we'll just have you back and we'll talk about it then. Gentlemen, anything big happening in your week that anyone want to share? And hey to everybody out there, the viewers have popped right on in real quick tonight. Y'all excited to do it like it's your B-Day. Y'all real excited to talk about Joseline and whatnot.
So I guess I'll share here with the guys.
Wait a minute, you're going to share here?
Yes.
Have you shared on social media?
No.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Let me make Zach big. Everyone look.
No.
You're about to witness a monumental, look at my sister, mwah. You're about to witness and experience a monumental announcement of epic proportions. And I'm just going to go ahead and make you big. Just,
don't make me big. Don't do that.
This is a big moment, Mama Vera. Mama Vera, get the hat ready. Get the hat ready. Let's go, Zach. Tell us what you're going to say.
So this past weekend, I took a mini vacation to celebrate my partner, and I proposed. So I am now officially engaged. See, no big news.
Congratulations, Zach.
Thanks.
Yeah, congratulations.
This is So this is great news, Zach. We are excited for you and for Isaiah, and we can't wait to see this, the future and what the future holds. We're ready for the wedding. I mean, you might as well just go ahead and do it in June. I know that Darius has met Isaiah. He was at your 40th birthday party while,
Ooh, the shade. You're going to tell my age, but you never tell yours, but okay.
Darius and I are waiting for that moment that we can turn 40 and have our big 4-0. And so
we can do it like it's our B-Day.
Like we can, but you know what? But now Zach decided he was going to do it like it's his, his wedding day. And hopefully, Zach, we're ready to marry you as well and bring you in as an official member of the 5 Guys on Live. I'm going to wait until Vince makes the decision to officially propose that to you as one of the original, the only other original person here besides me. So I'm officially making.
I like this person.
But Zach, who's going to cater the reception? That's going to determine whether or not Zach comes.
You mean in terms?
It won't be the caterer he had at his 45th.
Vince is now in charge of whoever becomes the official new, went to be added in. And then in terms of the catering goes, that's a good question. That's always a challenge is good catering. So we're going to work on that and we're going to plan that. And so again, congrats. He is definitely 40. Let me show you one more time. There's a number of telltale signs and a lot of evidence there. And right, Vince will be doing the desserts. Vince will be definitely doing the desserts. And while we're celebrating and doing it like it's Zach's wedding day, Kanye West is doing it. I really don't even know how I can describe how he's doing it. I know he's definitely not doing it like it's an Academy Awards for Music Industry Day, because he will not be allowed to perform in this year's Grammys, although he was nominated for a number of awards. Vince, as our resident musician, I'll turn it over to you. What do you think about the fact that Kanye West cannot perform at this year's Grammys, and why he can't perform?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all know the reason why. His recent behavior regarding Kim K and Pete, his social media activity, so on and so forth. And I just feel that the Grammys made this decision because of just liability. I mean, we know his antics. We know what he's done in prior, award shows. Let us all remember the Taylor Swift moment at the MTV VMAs or what have you. So, yeah, I just think that the Grammys see Kanye performing and giving him a hot mic is just not the way to go, especially considering the most recent music video he released. I guess he had some type of animation that sort of depicted Pete Steve Davidson that were pretty harmful, if you will, and just, some other disgusting things or what have you. So yeah, I mean, hey, I just wanted to propose this topic out to the guys to get your thoughts around it. And, do you believe that that the Grammys should keep this same energy with future artists that may perform in this type of outlandish behavior? I was just thinking back to just, the 90s or what have you. I know that there were some rather risque and, probably none that operated at the level that Kanye is in right now. But, like Marilyn Manson or just the Eminem saga, like, there have always been hot-headed artists to come through the industry. And I feel like the Grammys really didn't hold those people accountable. So should he be held accountable at this time? So I'm just wondering y'all thoughts around that. Let go.
And absolutely. I see that Meechin Hill is here. He's always ready with a hot mic. So Meechin, drop some comments and let's see what your thoughts are as well. Solomon.
Absolutely. He should be held accountable. This is a person who has a platform, but at the same time, we've seen this recent behavior and we can't reward it. And so not only, you talked about this video in which this caricature is being dismembered, but you also have, which is violent. Number one is violent behavior. It's a violent depiction. And then you also have this behavior in the media in which he is stalking. Like he is literally stalking his ex-wife. And so, we can't say that this is okay.
Kanye been canceled long time ago. So
why was he canceled? You sit here and you want to counsel everybody. So why was he canceled? Deborah wants to know about the intervention. Did you try to have an intervention with him before you canceled him, Zach?
There was no intervention needed. I think he needs some help. And Solomon being a mental health specialist, I think, do you agree? I mean, I'm not able to diagnose, but I think there is some mental health issues that need to be discussed there.
There is some mental health stuff there. And because I don't have all the information, I'm not able to diagnose as well. And I'm looking in the comments and saying that, has he had an intervention? And in his music, he talks about no more therapists. He talks about not taking medication anymore. And so talking to counselors and taking medication, those are interventions. And he's saying no more. So if he's not participating in it, then what kind of message does that send to everybody else out here?
This man literally said, Vince, and I went, I try to do my, y'all know I don't care about no Kanye. I don't care about no Kanye, but I did my research and I looked at his Easy video. And this man said in the video where he is illustrating the unaliving of Pete Davidson, he said, God saved me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's A word that rhymes with crash. He doesn't want to be helped. God helps those who helps themselves, and right now he doesn't want to be helped. And I don't personally. To me, the time for him and interventions have come and gone. He is a public figure with a public platform. He definitely knows how to hobble himself together long enough to make multiple millions of dollars at super spreader COVID events in the city of Atlanta. And if he can bring himself and pull himself together for that, he should be able to bring himself and pull himself together when he's trying to hop on that stage. Joseline said, when you get on that stage, you better hit that stage. He hits the stage, and Darius.
I don't know, y'all. Y'all know I could. Number one, I don't care. I don't care about the Grammys. I don't care who's performing. Kanye is definitely going through something. He definitely needs some attention. But it's interesting that the Grammy is making a stance against violent language. However, Cardi tried to attack Nicki Minaj, and that didn't stop them from letting her perform at the Grammy. So I think this is very performative, and it's another way of them upholding and protecting white women. I can care less about, who's performing. I'm not watching the Grammys one way or another, but it's just interesting to me that a family who has made their claim to fame off of reality television and showcasing every single aspect of their life now want to silence this man as he is trying to make his side of the story heard, whether or not he's approaching it in the correct way. In the coming months, all of the Kardashian fans will be able to see exactly what it is that they've had to say every single day in and out about this situation. And the only platform that Kanye has is the one that he's using, which is his social media. That doesn't make it right. He's definitely having a mental health episode, but it's just interesting the different types of, hypocrisy that is existing within this entire situation. So it is what it is. And he'll probably still be at home tweeting while the performance is going on.
Well, I mean, he can still attend.
He is allowed to go, and if he wins an award,
do you think he will go? Do you think he will go since he's not being invited?
This is my question. Do you think them silencing him performing will compel him to act out even more at any other given moment? Because they said that they can police him if he were to win an award. They can lower the mic, raise the music, all that stuff. But even beyond the actual show, I just think that this just gives some more potential fire or ammunition to spark something else out of this and further escalate it, which it doesn't need to be escalated even more than it is.
Let us not forget Taylor Swift. If he goes,
he's already been here and done this. What really made me angry about the Kanye West, I'm trying to fix my lighting. I know I look real bright on the forehead, and it's a big forehead. It's like a whole, it's big, but it's okay. It's like but it's fine. Listen, I saw also, he said, this is what Kanye said, y'all. Kanye said that he felt as though he could benefit from a team of creative professionals, organizers, mobilizers, and community leaders. Kanye West has called for the support of the Ben Crump people, the Tamika Maury people. He wants protesting and rallying on his behalf. And this is why that pisses me off, is that right in the heart of Black Lives Matter, this man was out here campaigning for Donald Trump. This man was out here actively trying to split Black voters away from the only option they had to bring about a moment of betterment in America. He was used as an agent of white supremacy by the likes of Donald Trump in his campaign. And in that effort, he's now saying he wants the Black community and these advocates to stand behind him. It doesn't work that way.
Didn't he also say slavery was a choice?
We've debated that back and forth.
He opened up his slave A mouth, and I said A, right? He opened up his slave A mouth, wired and all, to say some nonsense like that.
I think
he put together those hobbled teeth that he has, because he lost all them teeth, and now he got like them permanent dentures up in that mouth, and that's why he keeps yapping his mouth and his.
I think we've kicked that can around and around the circle about slavery being a choice, but my bigger issue with Kanye is that he takes an issue that really is prevalent in the Black community, with fathers not having access to their children or mothers using, their children as pawns in the midst of divorces or in the midst of separations. He takes that situation, which is a real and prevalent issue, and he centers himself to make it seem like, oh, let me be the face of this issue that fathers are having with, having access to their children. And that's problematic because it is a real issue. But when you center yourself and your foolish antics, it really dilutes what the situation is. So I think that Kanye definitely needs help, but I don't think that slavery as a choice is even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to his problems.
And taking your medication is also a choice that he's choosing, maybe, we don't know, not to take. But while Kanye West is not doing it like it's Grammys Day, it's possible that Jussie Smollett, Darius, is doing it like it's his birthday, as he has now been released from jail pending appeal. Or maybe he was doing it like it was his birthday while he was incarcerated. We don't know. But I know that you know about the next topic and give us some insight into the Freedom for Jussie movement that's now been granted.
No, Zach, I don't know nothing about this. I don't care. I've been telling y'all this for weeks. I do not care what is going on with Jussie in this case. At the end of the day, it's a load of BS. I think that the Chicago Police Department could have used their resources more wisely. I think that is a concerted effort from people who were embarrassed by the whole situation to make an example out of him. And I feel that everyone has hidden behind, oh, well, this is the law, and so he needs to face the punishment according to the law, not acknowledging that the law is not always designed to support, especially the Black community. And when people say that we should follow the law, just remember that slavery, as Kanye said, was a choice, was also lawful. And so when it comes to Jussie, I'm glad that he's found a loophole in the law that people keep leaning on in order to get the outcome that he wants, because at the end of the day, it's a load of BS.
Now, this is what, okay, so like, let me say, yes, Horatio, this is the one from Empire. That may be the only way you would know him, other than being Journey's little brother. But Darius, now I'm going to have to call a thing, right? Like, I saw your girl, Sunny Hostin, on The View today. And Sunny Hostin was being a complete 180 on statements that she's made in the past. Because in the past, they talked about canceling people, and she said one thing. Today, this woman said she don't believe in cancel culture at all. So I was like, I hate people do that. Now, Darius, you just said on this show about Kanye West and him, having mental illness and help. Jussie Smollett also suffers from mental illness. He's a Gemini too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Did I say that Kanye should go to jail for what he did?
You did not.
Okay, well, let's continue.
You did not say that. You just argue for accountability, but I mean, a little bit of leniency.
But is accountability always someone going to jail? I think in a situation like this, no one was harmed. Maybe at the end of the day, people feel like a movement was watered down in the event that, someone cried wolf.
Well, his career was harmed.
Did someone die? Like, who died? Like, people commit crimes every day, raping people, killing people, robbing people. And, sometimes nothing ever comes of it. And so I think that for us to keep drumming this into the ground, for what? For what? Who cares? Keep it moving.
I would agree with Darius. Like, I definitely think it was a bunch of hoopla that was made over trying to make him an example. When Chicago, there's a lot of other examples you need to be making, especially with the crime rate that is going on in Chicago. As well as, I'm glad that he's released. I do too think that it was interesting how they held him in psychiatric ward so that they felt that he wouldn't harm himself, but also it was a ploy to not have him in the general pop with everyone else. And so he was by himself, but he had nothing in the room with him because of the issues they thought he was going to be harmful to himself.
He told y'all he wasn't suicidal.
Now. What was that?
He told y'all he was not suicidal.
He did.
I just
to
want
make them think that he was suicidal.
I know Vince has some thoughts and so I just want to talk to Horatio for a moment. Look, Horatio, just a moment ago, you said, isn't he the one from Empire? Then you pointed out that he was not in the last season. Horatio, did you only watch the last season of Empire? Like, did you just jump in on the show and you missed every other season, but you all of a sudden started watching the tail end? If so, we understand. We do. It wasn't the best show in the beginning nor in the end, but I'm glad you were able to catch some part of it. Yep, white folks. I think this is a big part of it too, Deborah, is that I do believe this judge came out really harshly and he made some statements that when you really look at what he was saying, that could have been a little bit biased at to make it, to say the least, the best. And maybe that was why he, in this now instance, wanted to argue a little bit of leniency because maybe he wasn't as fair as he should have been, and he was called out for it. And that is a power of Black Twitter and how social media moves. So I do agree with you on that. I think that was a piece of it. Not the example, help, not harm. Well, correct. That's true.
And to that point, I think that was, Jussie is a poet in his mind. He says that he's the gay Tupac. I think that was him, trying to make one last stance, a Sandra Bland moment. Like, I'm not suicidal. I've gone up against Chicago Police Department. Now they're gonna lock me up. If something happens to me in this jail, I'm letting y'all know right now I'm not suicidal. And I think that a lot of people took that, that little soundbite and ran with it and completely missed the point of what he was trying to say.
Vince, anything on this topic or not really?
Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, historically, the criminal justice system hasn't worked for people of color. And now that you have a person of color who's trying to navigate the system and make it work in their favor, now the criminal justice system is trying to do something about it. But in a sense, I also get this because there's also this aligned movement of restorative justice. And so instead of individuals being incarcerated, they get therapy, they get evaluations that determine if there is some underlying symptoms going on and when I say symptoms, it could be mental health, it could be social, it could be whatever. There is this trend in recorrecting what has been broken for so long. And so, part of me as a person who is aligned with the criminal justice system and also in mental health, it's kind of a win when you see Black people of color, any individual who has been disadvantaged being shifted from incarceration, being shifted from the criminal justice system. You can't help but to see the win. But then at the same time, when someone does something that may be perceived as wrong, you do want to see that accountability as well.
Sean Moorhead said, take away the jail time, make it pay restitution. You can't do what you want to do in America. You cannot just make up lies that cost the taxpayers money that they don't have to pay.
Especially when you look like Jussie.
And that's true. It should be everybody. It should be uniform, but we know that it's not, and we address that and we say that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have consequences for illegal and illicit activities. If you come over here and try to break into my house, I don't want to hear anything about the struggles of the person, the background, the issues that they've had, or why they need to be counseled and rehabilitated. That's just. It's a bigger issue and it's deeper issues. And I think sometimes we're looking at it from the perspective of, this Black man has been done wrong by the system, but why not look at it from white people have been advantaged by the system, and let's have equal protection under the law, period, as well as equal enforcement of the law, if that's the route that we're going to go with. And again, we don't know Jesse's bag, but I would assume that Tanya, that it may not be so awesome.
His family got a long coin, though. I'm sure they can put their coins together and pay whatever he need to pay.
But do they? I'm not saying they don't. I don't know. I'm just saying that I think that the Smollett kids, mom and daddy threw them out there and made them work real young.
How much is it?
I've only seen two of them actually make a living in performing, and that's Jussie and Journey. And I know that Journey's had a long career, but has had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of big gaps.
$120K, he could go get him a job. And
it was 100
drop in the bucket for a family that, even for him getting Fox checks back when he was on Empire. I hope he got a few of them coins left over somewhere, but I'm sure that he was getting at least half of that per episode. So
yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. So this is my favorite topic of the week. And this is not, I'm so happy to share with everyone a non-political issue and say that my topic of the week is about my birthday twin, the one and only Joseline Hernandez. Look, you may not even know Joseline, because guess what? I really don't know her either, other than viral clips about Stevie J. And yeah, what did she say on it? She has so many sound bites. What's one of the famous quotes?
Hey, mate.
Hey, mate.
You got the maid out there like you always do, but I can't blame you. You got to clean.
I love it. Hey, I love it. That was hilarious.
Darius, what she told Carly, go and hit her with the
Carly, go. Now give me back my nigga hand.
You don't have to watch Love and Hip Hop? Her show. You don't have to watch her show. I mean, I didn't watch.
She's been going off of that. She has not a little. Let me stop.
No, I'm saying so. I didn't watch the show, but I just looked on YouTube at the clips, and she was hilarious to me, and I could absolutely see that Scorpio fire in her mouth. Unfortunately, the ladies of Zeus and the TV in her new show, Joseline's Cabaret, also witnessed that mouth and in those hands. So listen. This is what happened. This is Joseline and her husband. He has a ballistic, something like ballistic. And so supposedly during the reunion for her show, Joseline's Cabaret Miami, which I've never seen. Zeus is not on my TV. And she assaulted supposedly one of the cast members on the show named Amber Ali, I think. This is what I want to know. First off, gentlemen, how many of you have actually, you have Zeus? No, I don't have Zeus. Darius, I figured you would. How do you get Zeus? Is it like something you have to download?
Yes, it is. It is a streaming service. One of the largest Black-owned streaming services, and I think that he's doing very, very well. And yeah, they have quite a few shows of ethnic proportions.
Well, I want to get it. I do want to get it because I am a fan of Andrew Caldwell. He reminds me of someone else that I know that he looks a little bit like an old friend of mine.
I'm hanging up.
Like an old friend of mine who is no longer. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get Zeus so I can watch Andrew Caldwell, but now I want to watch Joseline after going down the rabbit hole of clips. Look, y'all, this is what Joseline Hernandez said. Can I have, Darius, will you do the honors of reading the quote? So after this alleged fight, this woman, well, actually, I'll read, we'll start off. We will start off, Zach Thomas, with you. Because I know you have a very officious voice and diversity and inclusion expert. And read the Zeus statement. And real quick, Andrew is going to be on the next season of Bad Boys Club, and the clips look hilarious. And yeah, do I got to pay for Zeus? How much? About
yes,
$2.99?
I think it's $4.99 a month. $4.99.
I'm gonna do 1 month. Yeah, Ferris, I will give you your login because Zeus, unlike Netflix, has yet to crack down. I plan to subscribe by the end of the week. Zach Thomas, read for us, please.
I am not reading this. You read it.
It's just Zeus. You can't use a Zeus voice?
Okay. I can't really see it. Let me see what it says.
Is that better?
It's a little better.
You are 40 years old now, so I do know that your eyesight may not be what it used to be, but continue.
Bless you too. The Zeus Network would like to thank all our viewers for their continued support. While our programming remains authentic, loud, provocative, raw, unscripted, and uncensored, under no circumstances do we condone bullying, unprovoked violence, and men attacking women. Currently, we are conducting a thorough review of the events that took place during Josseline's Cabaret reunion taping. The safety of our talent, crew, guests, and fans are our top priority. We encourage anyone who encounters violence of any kind to seek help from their local authorities or visit stopbullying.gov for free and confidential resources on how to seek help.
That was the official statement, right? So like Zeus is literally basically saying maybe this didn't even happen. Like we've got to research this. We don't know if it happened. Joseline Hernandez went straight to Twitter, and this is what Joseline said. Darius, please don't do that. Don't do the accent.
I'm not gonna do the accent. I'm not gonna get Mary.
Because what, like your friend with her Puerto Rican hair. Your friend with the Puerto Rican hair. I saw it all over TikTok. It was hilarious. But don't give us the TS Mass and Puerto Rican. But definitely read for us in a Joseline Hernandez, not accent but tone, her official response. She put this out, people, right as Zeus is telling the world it didn't happen. Maybe she said,
I'm Mortal Kombat one hoe, pimp slapped another one, pushed one into last night's episode, kicked down a few on the ground. I slapped fire out of everyone on that stage. Me and my crew. Wait for it. Hashtag Hustle's Cabaret, Las Vegas.
And again, like people.
I know that's right, Joseline. You know what?
But that's not the worst of it. It got worse. Because even after that, the poor Amber girl, basically made her statement. She said, and I will be happy to read Amber in her poor, sad voice. We are very saddened by the events that occurred during the taping of Joseline's Cabaret reunion show yesterday. The acts that occurred are horrific, unacceptable, and far removed from any notion of female empowerment. It is neither permissible nor entertaining to be the subject of intentional acts of violence, and security of its irrespective of the gender of the perpetrator committing these acts. The network should ensure the safety and security of its cast members, which warrants the degree of care necessary to prevent bodily injury or harm. The extent of our clients' injuries and distress are to be taken very seriously, and we intend to vigorously address and advocate on her behalf. And then Amber said, I am so embarrassed, mortified, and depressed. I can't stop replaying the events in my head over and over. Ballistics should be arrested. He and Joseline attacked me in front of cameras, crew, production, and guests. This is wrong. I want justice. And Joseline said to that, Darius,
keep I'm not reading this, Zach.
Keep crying from your hospital bed with your broken ribs. One kick, you flew into next day, rotten mouth, A-word, hoe. And then she continued because you people were telling her she was wrong on Twitter. And then she said, y'all hoes stay out my D-word. Go get you some money. Mind you all, you hoes, forever my hoes. You work for me until you die. Is what she said.
Hustling a pimp, ain't it?
I mean, that's the premise of the show. That's the premise of the Cabaret. I do not, by any stretch, condone any of this crazy foolishness. None of it.
Joseline Hernandez is going to jail. Joseline Hernandez is going to jail.
She ain't going to jail.
There's no question about this, right?
She's not going to jail. Joseline not going to jail. Now her husband, that was the fine line for me.
Be locked up under this.
Yeah, if they roll, hold on, bro. If they roll them tapes back and he did what is being alleged or what have you, then yes, he needs to go to jail. As far as the whole women against women reality TV, we've seen it for ages. We've seen it for ages, and it's like Bad Girls Club. What Joseline described she did is just the same as what they done for the past 30 seasons of Bad Girls Club. And and none of these women on the 30 seasons of Bad Girls Club in prison. Joseline is not going to prison. And then when you sign up for any show dealing with Joseline Hernandez, you should know what atmosphere you putting yourself into. This ain't gonna be no kumbaya, marriage healing ceremony. That ain't what that show is about to be about. So now that unfortunately you suffered the ultimate ramification from it, You sort of box yourself
They
into.
broke her ribs.
And I'll just say this also. I mean, in hearing about what happened, until I found out that ballistic was involved, I was just so confused as to why this had been kind of blown up the way it had been blown up, because they came into the house. I've been watching this season. They came into the house, namely her throwing bows, this very girl right here throwing bows. And so I wonder what provoked ballistic to jump into it. Is it a situation where there were multiple girls coming at Joseline? And then the question becomes, if I'm in a room full of women and multiple women are jumping on my sister, mama, cousin, auntie, girlfriend, do I sit there and let multiple women jump on my sister, mama, auntie, girlfriend, cousin? Once again, not condoning what happened at all, but I'm just very curious to see this footage to see why it is she feels like they were justified in whatever happened, and she was so willing to publicly say what she said, because Joseline is unhinged, but she's far from a dummy. She got street smarts.
But you know what, Darius? I think that scenario sort of goes back to the infamous pillow talk party, slumber party from Housewives, when Candy was, "I'll drag you in this bitch." That episode,
you got
right. When Kenya, what Nene said, you walked across the room with your diaper on. When Kenya walked across that room, charging at whoever she was charging at, and her husband went to get Kenya to pull her back to prevent his wife being harmed. Is that the scenario? You saw what happened after that, you know.
What he said is multiple people attacking one person,
right?
And you seeing it, and reading this article, it sounds like it could have been that situation where ballistic pulled her hair and like get off her to get her off of Joseline or whoever was attacking her. That could have been potentially the situation.
It's all ratchet as all get out, and I'm just like, you know, this is the type of behavior that Zeus,
well, that's what they want,
celebrates. And so
what
saw
is it?
Bobby and Rolling Ray.
The Zeus focus is what, like former realities. It's like a network of former reality stars. That's their focus.
Where reality stars go to get.
Isn't it Ray J's? Ray J's like
Ray J and Princess have a series on there. It's called The Conversation.
No, I'm talking about, isn't he part owner of it?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't know that he was part owner. I don't know.
I feel like he has something. He had a hand in executing the company and producing and creating the company.
You know, Solomon, as a therapist, what would you recommend could be done here to alleviate the issues that exist between Joseline and Amber?
Prayer.
Shut it down.
Shut the show down. The show is over.
It's from what I'm hearing, it's just a mess. I mean, it may make for good TV, and if that's what you like, if you like watching mess, you know, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's not healthy. Shut it down.
You know, could it be healthy in that people are able to live vicariously through the vicious acts of Joseline instead of committing those vicious acts themselves? I'm just asking. I don't know.
No. Oh, but it's a entertaining bit. I mean, just the idea of women being sexually liberated, and kind of getting that lens into kind of strip club culture and watching her kind of build out this, you know, this entire thing is good. But all of that extra fighting and violence and stuff, like they got to really get away from that, because this show could be very successful, but this may very well be the last stop in the road for her.
This could be the end of her. You think this could be a career-ending move?
I think not a career-ending move, because someone like Joseline can always, there will always be a market for Joseline. However, in terms of her having her own show as an executive producer and selling out shows, and this one is in Vegas, the last one was in Miami, there was one in Atlanta. Like, she's doing the damn thing, but I think that she's allowed that kind of ego. You can kind of see her ego, and towards these women, you can kind of see how that is going to contribute to the demise of this specific project.
I agree. And so, you know, Zach, were you going to add in?
No, I'm just looking up and I see Zeus is black owned.
Who is the owner?
Lamel Plummer. He's the owner and founder of Zeus Network. He previously worked at like BET. I was an executive there. He looks fairly young.
He is. And I think Zeus is worth a lot of money.
Really? I'm gonna look him up too, and send you to meet him, Darius, so you can get us on there.
No, thank you.
5 Guys on Live coming to Zeus. We will make it worth your $4.99.
Well, they would have loved the after show last week.
Do we talk about
from Zach K?
Are we breaking the fourth wall?
We are not. That's so inappropriate and is typical of Zach Thomas. Now y'all got me all flustered. I done lost the darn navigation screen. I'm trying to get back to StreamYard. I can't see. I went to the internet and it's messed it up. Hold on. Zach Thomas. Anyway, look, this man is, hold on. What is happening? Are you there? Are you guys there?
Yeah, we here.
My computer is malfunctioning. Hold on. My computer is malfunctioning on us. On me, not on us. I mean on me. Hold on.
Okay. Well, to answer Miss Deborah's question, are most of the shows like this one? I mean, from what I've seen in the YouTube clips, I would say yes. I think Joseline is probably the leading show out of the entire network or what have you, but you know, they always try to create reunions and conversations from like, you know, the what you call it, not the villains, but the head honchos from prior reality shows, forcing them to have these conversations, which always escalates into something almost physical. Mm-hmm. Akbar and Tommy Lee, Hazel Lee and Masika from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now we got Bad Boys Club on there. Then they constantly have some type of program involving the Bad Girls Club people from one time or another. So, and we know what those shows are rooted in. So unfortunately, yeah, you know, it's gonna be lit. Everything lit on Zeus.
But I do kind of want to watch the Bad Boys Club just to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch.
And
all of this goes back to really one man, people. This whole movement is a big product of Mark. This man made this whole entire style of television something that was appropriate for you 30 years ago. And we found out this week that this man is now going to be partying like it's his retirement. After 31 years of work for NBC Universal, Maury, I think I'm saying it right, is going to go home with his wife, Connie Chung, and they are going to enjoy retirement. What do you guys think about the final goodbye? This is it, the end, the swan song of this long-lasting Maury show.
3,600 episodes. That is insane.
Unheard of.
That is insane. 31 seasons of paternity tests and people running off the stage and cameramen running after people. It's like, that is crazy. That is so crazy to me. But he's managed to keep himself relevant and keep himself working. And you know, unfortunately, that narrative of who's my mama, who's my daddy will and a delinquent teenager will forever live. So that's clearly giving him, you know, the platform to do this for X amount of years. And I know last episode when we were talking about The Real being allegedly canceled, I made the comment around, you know, a lot of talk shows, if you think back to the 90s, they all came and they all left at the same time. So do you think with him leaving and the rumors and Nick Cannon being canceled and the rumors and allegations of other talk shows, you know, being finalized and let go, do you think this is just the ending of an era of this talk show season that we're in? Do you think that we may need another Maury-esque type show in the future? Like, what y'all thought?
I don't know. like you said, Vince, to everything there's a season. I see my mom was saying that one of our hometown girls, she has had a segment on the show for quite some time, the Love Doctra, Nikki. But she's hilarious. She's always been hilarious. So I think that everyone in our community appreciates him giving her a platform to kind of showcase her hilarity. But I can't help but look at these shows as they come to an end, and I know everyone has their different feelings about people that I like, but you see Ellen, who's during her farewell season. You see Maury is about to do his farewell, and I can't help but just, you know, feel some type of way that Wendy didn't have a chance to kind of do the same in terms of making her exit. It's just like, you know, you sit up here and you dedicate your life to, I know, you sit up here, you dedicate your life to, you know, this work, and you talk about someone doing 3,000 episodes, or in Ellen's case, 1,875 episodes, in Wendy's case, over 1,500 episodes. It's just good to see that these people are actually having a chance to part ways in an amicable way, and to, you know, just celebrate the work that they've done to entertain us over the past decades.
No, I can feel that, Darius. Wendy not having an opportunity to kind of say our goodbyes.
She was only on TV for 2 years, wasn't she?
She was
No,
on.
she's been around.
Had her show for 14 years.
Right.
Wendy,
14 years.
This is a 14th season.
It was like season 12 or 13, but she's been on.
You mean to tell me Wendy Williams has been on TV for 12 years?
14.
Yes.
14 years the Wendy Show has been on air. This is the 14th season.
Supposedly she is getting better, so she might have a return at least before the season is up. But I do agree. I don't know
now.
Huh?
Her show gone.
It's okay.
They've given the show to Sherry Shepherd. Her show is gone.
But she still can come and make it's her name still on it right now.
She'll be fine.
So I don't think we need another show like a Maury though. I think there are too many people kind of replicating that in different ways, especially these judge shows that are doing paternity tests, and now people like Steve Harvey is now a judge, and I don't think have nobody's law degree. So I think we have those kind of shows now taking those places. That's making for good TV as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Maury, but I didn't know he was 83 years old.
You watched the Maury show?
I used to watch Maury.
I used to watch it too.
I believe it.
I just don't know how many times people can run off kicking and screaming before you like. Okay.
I mean, especially when you had them little kids up there and they would thought they was grown. Maury was like the first. Maury and Jerry? Yes.
That's right. Wait, is that who birthed the Cash Me Outside girl?
Yes.
No. That
was Dr. Phil.
No, that was
Dr. Phil. That's what I was going to say. I think you got them mixed up, Zach, a little bit.
That was Dr. Phil.
Right.
Yeah.
Look, I want to say this. I've never watched Maury. I've never watched Jerry Springer. Ooh. And you're going to be shocked when I admit this. I've also never watched Ellen. Now, Ellen, from what I've read in the news, was kicking her people who work for her the same way Joseline was kicking on Amber. And, you know, it's time for her to go. If she was abusive and created a hostile work environment, it's time for Ellen to go. I agree with Vince. I think it's actually probably a good thing for daytime television to continuously evolve, not to evolve to judge shows. I'm not going to watch that either. But it would be good to have fresh, new voices emerge and be given platforms that have a different focus, as we're now into a whole new generation of people have emerged. So I really would love to see programming that's fresh and innovative and give voice to younger people. That would be great. And we'll come back to this as well.
Well, I know they giving old girl a show now. I don't know if y'all heard about Jennifer Hudson.
Not interested.
Mm-hmm. I saw that. I saw a thumbnail. Is that real?
I was like, that was.
That's just. But I hear y'all keep saying this about, you know, giving voice to younger voices. But is the daytime slot the prime location for a millennial or a younger person to do TV? And I don't think, when I think daytime TV shows, I think older women who are retired or who are working from, their cubicle or whatever, who have that type of leniency in the middle of the day to watch TV. Most of the time, if I'm watching Wendy Williams or if I'm watching The Real and I'm not watching The View, I'm watching it as a rerun. And so I just wonder, like, what is a good time slot for these people? I definitely think someone like Keke Palmer would be a wonderful talk show host, but is her audience the 50-plus-year-old woman who's at home?
But you're wrong about the audience. So I have done a deep dive. So I get several emails from this resource called Marketing Weekly, and they do a variety of like these different focus points for influencers.
Mm-hmm.
And the market is not what you think. It is no longer housewives and retirees sitting at home watching television. The pandemic changed it. And you know what? Now that you say that, I can almost guarantee you that's why the networks are going in a different direction, because the demographic has changed and the viewers have changed. And people, like, again, most of us, like, we're working from home and we're having something on the television in the background. Darius, you may be watching Wendy Williams in the background. Zach Thomas, you're watching maybe Maury in the background. I'm watching MSNBC. But regardless of what we're opting to watch in the background, is definitely, we're a different audience. And so I think that could be a big part of why they are adjusting.
Do you think it's a premature shift as we are, prayerfully very soon approaching an endemic?
You know what? I believe that I think we're in the endemic, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually believe that Gen Z ain't finna go no work like that. They're not finna go. They're not going to. They are not going to be in the traditional workforce, and so the traditional workforce must now change to fit them and to keep their workers, because they're very happy to stay at home and secure brand deals on TikTok.
And Deborah's soap operas died because people were dying every week and coming back the next season.
I'm sick.
That's why they died.
I'm sick. And I see someone
Victor done died some numbers.
Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson has a show, but her show airs like 4:00 in the morning or something like that.
It airs at 10 a.m. on WSB TV.
Really?
It airs in the afternoon here in DC. But Drew Barrymore still has
on
a show.
Bravo. I catch it on Bravo at like.
Yeah, Kelly has a prime slot, and I see her actually having longevity behind this show. It's a decent show, like it is.
I watched a few episodes of the Kelly Clarkson show, and I enjoyed it.
Really?
I do. I like Kelly. Kelly is like in the beginning. Like, I feel like from what I've seen,
you enjoy those people, but
who are those people, Zach?
Here we go.
Who are those people, Zach?
Right, blank your screen.
I enjoy Kelly Clarkson. I do believe that she has some room to grow as a talk show host, but I think that she's going to get there. She comes across to me as what Ellen wanted to be. Ellen tried to come across like this really fun, loving person, but I don't think that's who she was as a human being, and she always came across to me as inauthentic. But Kelly comes across to me as a very authentic person, so I enjoy the show when I'm able to catch it. So like today, I turn on my television at 9:00 and I'm watching MSNBC, and it was too much Ukraine. I'm tired of Ukraine now. Ain't no we gonna be able to do. The bombs gonna drop, people gonna die. It's nothing. You ain't gotta tell me that every day. So I turned over to Kelly, and it was she's always intriguing, and she always starts every show with a song. I enjoy it. Okay, I enjoy
a cover song, right?
And it's surprising because who's after us, millennials, the generation younger than us, they don't even know who Kelly Clarkson is. And so they are finding out who she is through this show, and the voice that she has is crazy. She goes viral just with that opening song.
Jennifer Ann, Karen Ann, Zach.
She goes viral with her opening song at least once a month. And so it's crazy to kind of see another generation be exposed to who Kelly Clarkson is, because the girl got a voice on her.
Okay, you guys mentioned Jennifer Hudson getting a talk show. Did I hear that right?
Yeah. She's supposed to actually be taking over like the Ellen slot time frame.
Well, here's the thing. I love Jennifer Hudson, and I think that she is the best living voice today. But I will tell you this. This has been my issue with Jennifer. And again, the voice is amazing. Her albums haven't been very good because people don't know how to produce with that voice. and her style of her voice will lend itself to Whitney Houston level music, but that's not what sells in 2022. So we don't get Whitney level hits out of Jennifer Hudson because they possibly couldn't be hits. But here's the thing. I was so excited to see Jennifer Hudson live, and it was one of the worst concerts of my life. And it was horrible because Jennifer Hudson didn't know how to connect with the audience at all. She's a very introverted, private person, and I don't think that I will be amazed. It'll be a miracle to me if she's learned how to transmit, because even no matter what, she always comes across as exceptionally distant and standoffish. I just think that's who she is as a person.
Yeah, it should be a really interesting show. Me just watching some of her, interviews on like late night television, it seems, especially in the past like 3 to 5 years or so, it seems like she has come out of that shell and has become more relatable, or what have you. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that she has like a Kelly Clarkson type of demeanor, where, Kelly is just, super warm and inviting and engaging. So, this should be interesting. And I'm also shocked that, I don't know, maybe because it's going to be on Fox, like you said, Zach, maybe they'll sort of do her like they did The Real, where like The Real was only available in certain markets. And then once they sort of saw how promising it could be, it could go mainstream across the states. But yeah, it's a very interesting move that they sort of gave her this moment. Happy for her. But yeah.
Maybe she is grown. So Simon, what do you think as someone who I think may be a Jennifer Hudson hater?
Well, I'm not a fan. But honestly, with daytime television, I see its exit. And when you look at millennials and when you look at the generations below them, we're really just concentrating on the next best experience. And you don't get your next best experience just sitting in the house watching TV. And so I think the appeal is going to be TikTok, all these social media movements. Like, people are doing all kinds of recipes from TikToks now. And when we used to sit at home and watch people cook Thanksgiving dinner on TV and then recreate the recipes from that. And so really, the social media movement is probably going to be the next best thing.
I would agree with that, because a lot of the shows that I watch now are on like a YouTube show.
Exactly.
The Terrell Show, I love his show where he interviewing people and singers and have a little contest, and I can agree with that.
People are unplugging from
the Terrell Show.
Yeah, the Terrell Show.
I'll watch it tonight. So I'll watch my first episode. It's called The Terrell Show. So you go and send me a good one to watch, a good episode, and I want to see this Terrell Show.
The one with Kelly Price is good.
Oh, it was.
I've seen the one with Chris Michelle.
The one with the Clark sisters was really good as well.
Yeah, that one too.
But I think people are unplugging from cable in general. Like, people don't even subscribe to cable anymore. So all these streaming services is really where everything is at right now. So maybe that has something to do with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, people said about Bel Air. Well, look, I still subscribe. I still pay Comcast way too much money, okay? Because I don't understand how streaming works. It confuses me. I get like, what are you talking about if I can't get my show in real time? And I get real frustrated. And the things that come out of my mouth are like some of the same stuff that Joseline Hernandez comes out of her mouth. Now, listen. So that's why I don't have Peacock, because I have Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Apple TV. And I only have them for the same reason I have cable, for one freaking show. I only have Apple Plus. I only have Apple Plus because of the morning show. I only have Hulu. I don't know why I have Hulu. I have Netflix, like, I do like Netflix. So all that to say, I'm not gonna get no Peacocks.
You can use my account. Peacock is free.
It depends.
It's a trick. It's a trick. I'm not
going to. Bel Air is worth it, Zach. I would not pay for Peacock for Real Housewives Ultimate Girl Trip. But I tweeted that, and somebody, emailed me their login when I said that, because they want me to see Kenya Moore. Anyway, neither here nor there. But
they don't have me. They don't have me. They don't, because look what's happening. Netflix is cracking down on all of this, and these people are sitting up here just like Joseline, admitting that she cracked some ribs, and they are sitting here admitting to sharing passwords. I don't want your free password. I don't want it. Last topic of the night. What do we think about Netflix cracking down on subscription services?
So just to give you a quick backstory, so apparently, Netflix, their stock prices have went down 40%. Recently, in recent months, they have recognized that they have they've slowed up in user growth as well as an increase in cancellations. I want to say maybe a month or two ago, it was a lot of tweets and things hitting the fan like, dang, if Netflix raised their price one more time, that kind of thing was happening. So I think right now it's like Netflix feels like they are, I can say, losing their buzz and they're losing money. So the way that they are circumventing that is to crack down on the password usage. And they are testing in 3 countries, Chile, Peru, and another country in the Central American market. They are allowing for $2.99. Hold on, I have it right here. $2.99, they're allowing sub accounts for 2 people outside of your household. In the event that is successful, they may bring it to other countries, including the States, so on and so forth. My opinion, Netflix, you just need to become more competitive. Clearly, y'all was the big, head honcho once upon a time, but Hulu here and Hulu done partner Disney Plus and ESPN got their own package, Paramount, HBO Max, Amazon just bought MGM. So that's really going to, increase and stretch their entire, streaming services, programs, or what have you. So yeah, I just think Netflix is whining right now. Like, they need to toughen up and become more creative and more competitive. And I think sometimes they need to go back to the roots. I feel like go back to their initial roots. For me, the reason that I got Netflix is because they had a lot of my shows that I couldn't find anymore, that weren't on television anymore. And they've sort of removed some of those shows and have started the Netflix original series, which are great. But I think that sometimes they just need to, in this moment, rather, they need to take a step back and see what they may have lost and bring that back to sort of gain more.
I'll tell you what they lost, Zach. I'll tell you what they lost. Make me big. Until you do right by Monique, everything you touch, everything you think about is going to crumble. And I tell you one thing, you sit up here and you take away my ability to log into my sister's account, please rest assured you will not be getting any coins up out of me or anybody else in my family. This is y'all saving grace. So y'all need to go ahead and call Monique and figure it out and see if she can get that root off of y'all so that y'all can get back into prosperity. But until then, everything you touch is going to crumble.
They can't bring it back to what it used to be, Vince, because you got to think about it. When Netflix first launched, all those shows that were on networks that were owned by CBS, Viacom could be shared. Everything owned by Paramount, everything owned by Disney, ABC, it was able to be shared. But now all of those networks have their own streaming services. So they're refusing to allow their content to be streamed on Netflix. So those old shows can no longer be shown on that, because you can only get it through access to like Peacock or Paramount Plus or Hulu. Because again, Peacock is NBC, Hulu is ABC, and then Paramount Plus is CBS. So all of that network and all of those connections belong now to those, and that's the problem.
Listen, I heard that when Disney Plus was coming out, it was rumored that Netflix was trying to strike a deal with Nickelodeon to sort of be the answer to that. Figure it out.
Yeah,
figure it out. I mean, that's what they stop whining and trying to, cut costs or raise costs for everybody else because you struggling because y'all don't got comfortable in being the head honcho once upon a time. It don't happen no more. Like you just said, Zach, that's not realistic. So figure it out.
And I don't know and I think they're trying to, but they still raising price. That's why they're cutting deals with like Shondaland to bring in some new edgy kind of entertainment pieces. I think they recently are doing a deal with someone else that was with Disney. What's the other black lady who Ava? I think they're doing something with her.
Ava DuVernay.
Yeah. And so I think Netflix is trying to get some of these big names to kind of help create some shows. But they still going up on price. So if you keep going on price, don't expect me. I can share my network with someone else. Hell, I'm paying you.
Zach, I think they're also trying to do that to discredit Monique's claims that they have racial bias on their Netflix. I really do, and that's the thing. Like even with Bravo, Bravo, before Bravo calls Nene Leakes and says we did wrong by you, we should have gave you a show a long time ago. They're gonna give Candy another show. They're gonna give Karen another show. They're gonna give Portia another show. They're gonna give all these people another show instead of just saying, "Damn, like we did have a blind spot, or we do need to rethink the way that we handle these people." But before they do that, they just gonna do what they do to the Black community. They're gonna continue to pander.
That's a good, I mean, it's a very valid, very good points. Again, we are now 4 minutes over time. Everybody join us for the after show on Instagram. You can look at any of our Instagrams. We will be on Instagram Live for the after show. And we're going to continue to talk. We'll do a small recap of the hot discussions from the main show. And then we're going to talk about Countess Luann and falling off the sobriety wagon. We'll talk about the nature of addiction for a moment. We're going to talk about also, while Countess Luann fell off the sobriety wagon, am I going to fall off the diet wagon and go to McDonald's to try the brand new Saskatchewan, or however you say it, sauce that's coming back that people loved? I never had the sauce. I never had the sauce. And so there's some things I'll never taste, like Chick-fil-A sauce, Polynesian sauce, but maybe I should have a moment and try out the Saskatchewan sauce. We're also going to talk about the fact that, you know, it's true that there are a number of Americans in Gen Z who refuse to work. I researched it after your role model, not people on the show, but you people watching who support this Kim Kardashian.
I'm glad you're bringing that back, because there's a second part to my response that I thought about after the show.
Well, that's good. And so we're going to bring that back. We're going to bring that back. And those are the topics that we will be talking about. So we will see you guys shortly on Instagram Live. Gentlemen, you get your favorite non-alcoholic beverage, and we will dig into the after show.
I'm drinking water tonight. Water.
Yeah, I'm going to be having water with lemon on the rocks.